Hello and welcome to the Sons of Thule. Today we're going to do a Shaman setup video for level 80. Alright, so not much has changed, slight changes. So what I've done, the server crashed yesterday or something, and I lost all my X targets I meticulously set up. There we go. So I have changed the way this works slightly, the way I'm doing it. So my assist button is now X target 7. So X target 7 here with this little A icon is my group assist target. Instead of I think I had hard coded assist pos 5 main assist main or assist Zerd or something like that, and that was kind of causing issues when I group with other people. So now I have it kind of set like this, and these are supposed to be empty. There we go. Let's go ahead and save that. And you can save your X targets just by doing this. And if the server goes down, you lose them. But if you have it saved, you can bring it right back. And so I have my Shadow Knight in 1. I have myself in 2, and the Bard in 3. And that kind of corresponds to this. So his target is that as the assist, right? And then I do attack, I cast 4, which is the quick casting poison nuke. And then I cannibalize. I cannibalize on cooldown with this guy. So, but my healing macros, I changed them up a little bit. So I have X target 1, so that instantly targets him. And then I can start casting, and that's a big heal. The 4200 heal that I got here. I'm using Jimmy's Mending as my main single target heal right now. I've tried, I still use the healer merc, and I'll probably eventually drop him for something else, but right now he kind of helps out pretty good. So it's just all the macros are pretty much the same. This one, I tried to take all the text out because I was spamming group members and stuff. They're all the same pretty much, X target 1 through 6. And since I don't have anybody in that one, I don't even know what it does. Yeah, there's no target, so it doesn't do anything. So, and then I have these ones actually say that I'm healing so and so. But for the most part, it makes it so if I group with other people, or if I group with mercenaries, I can target them without having to think about it now. And I don't have to know their names. I don't have to edit macros. I just have to set them in this right here. And it's just simple as clicking on him, and I can go right here. My mercenary right there, boom. So he's now in 6, so I can hit my 6 button. He targets, oh wait, oh, I hit the wrong shit. 6. There we go. There we go. Shift 6 is my healing spell. There we go, and I healed him. So that's a little bit different. I changed that up just to make it easier for me to group with other people and be able to heal them. And then I have my ADPS macro, which is I target Zerd, so he's always 1. And then I cast 7, which is Talisman of the Cougar. And then I cast 9, which is Langur. Langur is the proc slow, which is pretty cool. And then I believe I cannibalize. Yeah, I cannibalize at the end of that. I always cannibalize. If you're not cannibalizing, you run out of mana pretty quick. And it's only 5,000 health. And a few levels will be 6,000 health. So always cannibalizing just to keep that on cooldown. Because I'm not doing the canna dancing that you would be able to do as a normal, main shaman. You can sit between ticks. And sometimes you can get a little extra mana regen, but I don't bother with it. It's not worth my time. For my burn, I have AA Dampen Resistance. I don't think I have that one on here. Or is that one? Dampened Resistance. Let's put it right here next to Rabbit Bear. So we can pull that up. And that's like a Mallow kind of thing. I think it's even more. I think it stacks on top of Mallow. So it's very nice. And then I go Rabid Bear, which is like a bear form. Makes me attack faster, harder, just, bear. So I kind of do that. And then that's it for right now. I don't know if there's any other burns I'm gonna put in there. And the full burns, I do silent cast. I should probably put them in the same one, but I don't know. I don't take aggro. The Shadow Knight keeps aggro unless I'm like the only one in the way, right? There's a few other things, but I don't have them in the burn macros. If we go down here, I have my pet attack macro, which just that attacks the assist target, sends the pet, activates 177, which I believe is the swarm pets. Which one is that? Spiritual Guardian. It's one of these, Call the Ancients? No. Ancestral Guard. Nope. Ancestral Aid. They're all like named the same, right? Call? There we go. That's it. 177 is Call. We'll pop that one right there so we can see it. So that one just summons up, I think 5 wolves, and they attack for 60 seconds. So pretty nice little spell. All my characters use num1 as the pet attack button, and that will tell the pets to attack, swarms to attack. It just sends everything at the thing. So all one stop, only pet stuff in this one. Then I have my slow button, which targets the assist mob. I cast Mallow, I cast AoE slow, and then I cast single slow. Now, the reason I do that is because 1, I am lazy, but 2, there is a cast time difference, right? Let's see here. This one right here is 30 seconds to do the AoE, whereas the single target is 8 seconds at my current level. So if the AoE slows down, I'm gonna single target slow. And if I pull a bunch of mobs and maybe one of them is named, it's gonna handle the case where I want the name to be slowed more. On top of Langur always being on most of the mobs anyway, because the way this thing works. So it really works out. It's probably one of the best things you can do as a shaman to do that. You could probably hockey them to separate cubes if you wanted to, but number 1 rule is I'm lazy, and so we do it that way. And then I just mallow when I slow. Typically, I don't slow every mob. I only slow named for the most part, or large pools. And then when I get AoE mallow, I think I get AoE mallow. I can't remember, but I will swap that in there. And then last chance is another macro I have, which does Call of the Ancients, which sends a ward out that just AoE heals, right? And then I do Ancestral Aid that heals all group members for even more. So I'm just like dropping heals down. And then I do Ancestral Intervention, which is another group heal that heals the lowest member. And it's just like, this is usually what I do if the Merc dies and I'm taking heavy damage. I just hit this and we're in easy mode. When I have my Beast Lord with me, I hit Paragon at the same time, and it's like you're safe. You're safe. And then it's my assist nuke button. I have it on numpad 4, so if I move it from here, these can't move it. There we go. I sometimes, when I don't want to do any damage from the Shaman, I take that out of there and I just let him be kind of a passive character where he just does 80 PS and stuff. But if I want to nuke, I can hit 4 to get that going. I have group heal, which is the group torpor line of spells. I try to hit that as much as I can. On cooldown, I just hit 5, and typically it's always running as much as I can, just to keep the heals up on them. And then I have a special macro just to single target heal the Zerd. It's still set to Zerd. Iksar 1. There, that'll make it a little faster. What this one does, I'm not sure what 662 is. There's one of these that is pretty strong. 662. There it is. Unionist Spirits. That's the one. Where'd that button go? So this one will heal the target for 6,900 and then 2,000 over time. Plus it'll increase all my stats, which is really nice because where is it? Alcon Zypher is only 1,300 a tick, so that's just a big heal. We got that going, and that's a 15-minute cooldown. So I just use it whenever it's available, right? So if that fails, I cast Halcon. If that fails, I do Ancestral Intervention. There is like a time, right? So if I cast this on myself, I think there's a few seconds before I can cast it again. Yeah. And usually during that cycle, I can usually get another one of these out. But no, actually, no. Sorry, I said that wrong. That is a shade. That's the group heal. That's the group AoE heal. And then that. So the group one has a longer cast time. I remember now. So see how it is a 15-second recast. And then Ancestral Intervention, which is a 1 minute and 30 seconds recast. And then it goes to the single target. So there's lots of healing coming out of the Shaman right now, and I don't even really need healing that much with the Shadow Knight, so it's working really well. And then I just have the 80 PS button here if I want to cast it without snaring a mob or something like that. My follow, same thing. They're still set to the old one. I need to move them to the new style. And then I have my assist dot spell. So this one, how do I have this one set up? So 5, 6, 8 is not the right spell. I was wondering what that was. I don't think I have the that set. And this is Breath of Big Barn. So when I fight names is the only time I use dots, because mobs don't live long enough normally. I cast all 3 dots at the beginning after I slow. And I just manually switch over him and I click it. For the most part, it increases his DPS so that he does more DPS than mercenaries on a named. Just doing these dots plus his pet and his cougar plus the nuke. Like, just doing that, he does more damage than a rogue merc. So that's good for me. And I do have attack on, so he's always meleeing. It doesn't really matter right now since I don't have a good magic proc or anything on here. Like later on, I'll get like the mending ones or the mana ones, so those will really be helpful. But for the most part, you know, that's just how I have it set up. And I have Radiant Cure right here, which is just a group cure, and then I have Impure Spirit for another cure, which if you're doing the gribbles and stuff, you get snared. You can sometimes pop that off with that, but just a matter of doing it. My spells are Jimmy's Mending, Shade of Renewal, Halcon Zypher, Bite of Brownie, Blood of Carafin, Pocus, Talisman of the Cougar, Big Breath, Breath of the Big Burn, Langor, Ancestral Intervention. I keep the res up just because I'm lazy and I didn't know what to put in the slot. And then I have Pre-Incarnation in the last spot, and I share that between my buff bar and this one just so I don't have it's always up. But this will give me a chance for a divine intervention. So if I die somehow, if somehow the Shaman dies, there's a chance he might come back to life. So that's just, you know, a safety net insurance that I like to have going on there. I do have Virulent Paralysis right here, which is a root spell. I can cast it and root if I need to kind of CC, but I go with my philosophy is I YOLO everything. I pull it, I taunt it, I tank it, and I kill it. I don't really CC that much unless it's like specifically needed for doing something like split pulling or something like that for mobs that are just too hard to do that with. But for the most part, I have not had any issues with my Shadow Knight tanking and my everything else going on. I don't think so I have Pack the Wolf, which is where is that one? Where is that? Oh, here it is. Pack of the Wolf. So this is a aura that it shares when somebody joins the group. It turns into the werewolf. You've probably seen it. But what it does is it increases the attack speed by 60%, increases health, mana, stamina by 800, gives you that. You can see invis, ultra vision, even more stuff. It's wow, it's like 800 and 600. I don't even know what's going on there. Oh, maybe I don't know. I don't know what the difference here is. Yeah, it's just crazy. And then it gets even better over time. I think it eventually gives 10,000 hit points at 120. I can't exactly remember what my Shaman had, but I keep that on all the time. I shrink everybody down. That helps with melee and IS Boxer. Because where is everybody? I think I've left them over here. This is the guild hall for the guild on Coronavirus. So you can kind of see, like, I have her in Iksar form, but since she's a female, I think it changes the distance a little bit. So if we go like this, shrink. Oh, we're not grouped. Get them grouped. There we go. So if I shrink them down and I do follow, right? If I go like this and I run behind them several times, eventually they stack up in the right way, like they are now. See how they're right on top of each other? And this is the perfect distance. I can kind of move a little bit closer. Sometimes they won't move. It just depends on how they're engaged. But the auto follow has been working pretty well for me, as long as I stack them up like this. But yeah, that's that. So yeah, all the heals, they're all X target based now, so I can actually heal people without having to like change my hard-coded macros. I use potions. I have clarity potions I bought from the vendor. I'll probably start making my own clarity potions at some point. I do have spirituality potions. That's the Beast Lord buff, but I've been recently just logging my Beast Lord in and buffing myself. Easier that way. He's going to join the group when we hit 85. So it's going to be real nice. Nice to have the Beast Lord in the group also. Let's see. Is there anything else I'm missing? I don't think so. I think that's like everything. Oh yeah, buffs. All right, so these are all the spells. If we go over here to the buff bar, I cast everything for the most part. I don't. I'm like buff capped on my Shadow Knight, so I try not to like skip anything because they're just so good, right? So this is the focus. This is Talisman of the Blood Warg. I got rank 2 from somewhere, but it's a good. It goes in the shield slot for buffs. Talisman of Foresight. Pretty much all the talismans I use. So Foresight, Stamina, the Regen, Talic, and Might, right? And at first I thought they were only like, you know, stat buffs, right? But they actually don't. So this one increases your damage via Mammoth. Is it this one? So I cast that and then I get Mammoth Strength. I already had it, but it gives me a damage boost increase, which you add that to the pets, you add that to the mercenaries, you're starting to get a little bit more damage. The stamina one increases your stamina, but it also, I think this also increases the stamina cap. Just on Behemoths. Alright, so we're at 484. Our stamina is capped at 410. So somehow we're already over. And we have a max, from our gear, we have 612. So if I cast the stamina again, it's going to increase the cap. and then it's going to increase our endurance. So it's really nice. It gives us a little bit of hit points. I didn't even look at how many it gave us, but it's worth it. Regen, this increases our health regen to 125 extra, 120 extra. All my characters are Iksar pretty much, so it adds a lot to it. Right now we're at 1700 health regen. So every 6 seconds I get 1700 health back, and I believe that's during combat, which is pretty nice considering I'm doing cannibalize. Here takes me down to 40, and then I should tick back up here. Let's see, that should tick up. Yeah. Oh, I have all these other heals on, so they don't. No, the buffs don't wear off inside a guild hall. So it's very helpful. I use the pet. It dies sometimes. I just summon it back. It's like a dot I don't have to deal with for the most part. All my macros have pet attack in them, so it just does that. And then Talic is just an attack speed, Spirit of Wolf, or attack, not attack speed, but attack rating. I don't know how much it gives, but I cast it anyway. And then Talisman of Might also increases your damage, so that's another good one right there. That one seemed to be blocked by Mammoth Strength. I think I have, yeah, there's some kind of conflict going on there, so I don't know exactly what that is, but I'll have to look at that and see. But for the most part, I think that's everything Shaman related. I have the Epic 1. I need the Epic 2 still. The Epic 1 I don't click. I don't think I've even ever clicked it. This stuff. Junk from killing stuff. Yeah, I don't see any. I don't have any clickies. I banked all my item clickies. Where's my bank? Of course, I don't have a hotkey set up for that for some reason. I banked the timed antithesis. Jeez, I can't say that word. I bagged those boots. I bagged the dot boot pants. It's too weak now to use, but it's, you know, it was nice when we had it. But I cast all the buffs, I cast all the stuff, and for the most part, don't really die. I do some crazy stuff in some of these missions where I just pull a room and I get like 7 mobs, and I'm able to tank it using the mercenary and this guy, so it works out pretty well. But that is my overview of the level 80 Shaman setup. If there's any questions, let me know, and I can help out with that and see where we need to go. But thank you very much for watching, and have a fantastic day.